is your sense of self? What is your sense of happiness rooted in? Because I think that can typically go in kind of one or two ways. And I think about that in kind of an external sense, and I think about that as an internal sense. So externally, we have a consumeristic society. I kind of joke about it. I've got my biker buddies here, my cycling buddies. It's always about having the nicest gear, looking the best on the bike, having the good-looking socks, the newest bike. It is so materialistic in some ways, but it becomes intoxicating sometimes. I'm sitting around looking at some of the bags people brought in, some of the brands people brought in. We're incredibly brand conscious. It's a lot about appearance. There's a lot of an exterior thrust into society, and there's an expectation that we need to look a certain way, we need to act a certain way. And sometimes that can really throw us off, really take away our compass and take our sense of self into kind of something else. And that's something else. But we also do that in relationships. How many times do we look for someone else to kind of complete something, to kind of fill a particular brokenness in a relationship that we might have? That can happen sometimes. And sometimes we bring that into relationships. And we look for that person to kind of fill that void. So we kind of look externally. And then your identity becomes kind of wrapped up within that. But I really want to think about how do we build internally a core sense of self that really says, again, I'm deeply loved right where I'm at in my journey. I have something to offer. I'm gifted. I am talented. I have beautiful things to offer to a relationship, to someone else. But again, we want to cling instead. We want to look for something outside of relationships. We always want to kind of grab for something. Say, well, if I get that, I can't tell you how many people I talk to that say, well, once I get to a PhD program, once I get into get this job or get this title or get this amount of money, then I'll be happy. But then how many times in our life do we get to those points and we say, I'm just as unhappy as I was before? But we kind of keep chasing the carrot, and we don't ever work interiorly. And that can happen very quickly. Again, particularly in a time of transition, a time of fleeting.